Sales are down, but prices are up? What's going on here in the Greater Toronto real estate market? Well, stay with me as I take you through the numbers and give you a little bit more of an insight of what's really been going on behind the scenes. Hey there, I'm Matt Sloan, and I'm a realtor here in the Greater Toronto area. If I can ask a huge favor, if you could go ahead and hit that subscribe button, it would mean a lot, as I'm really trying to grow my new YouTube channel. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Now, stay with me here as I bring up some charts to really dive into the numbers on what's been going here in the Greater Toronto area real estate market. As we've seen, sales are down, but everyone seems to think that the market's picking up, and that kind of shows a little bit in the price. So stay with me and follow along, as this will give you a much clearer picture on what's been going on and what you might be able to expect in the upcoming months here. So as we start off, I really like to always start off with this dot chart here. It shows the past 4 years in the Greater Toronto area real estate market. So from January 2020 all the way till last month, April 2024. And you can kind of see that nice trend slowly going up. And as we go through the seasons, it's actually quite similar in the last 4 years with everything that's been going on, except for, that big spike we had in the middle here when interest rates were at a complete all-time low. And then obviously we see that correction, that massive correction, when interest rates went way up, slowing the market down. But if we take that out, we can kind of see how the ebbs and flows have gone along, and a lot of it has been due to, seasonal change and kind of how the market reacts throughout the years and slowly going up in price as we carry on. So what I really wanted to point out and focus on, though, is these last 3 months, starting here in January 2024. As you can see, we've had a slight increase, not a crazy spike, but just a nice natural increase due to a seasonal change. And when we compare it to last year at this time, when we really had a competitive spring market, we can see that it's actually pretty similar. And if we look at April 2023 to April 2024, they're actually the exact same. So it kind of shows the trend of where we're going here, even though sales have been down last month. So let's take a look at that. If we see here, if we compare year to date, our price, as I mentioned, is basically the exact same, just over 1.1 million average price for all home types across the GTA. But then when we look at the number of sales, year to date, it's actually only 5% more from last year. And if you remember, last year was one of our slowest years in, I think, 20 plus years. So for us to only be 5% more than last year is a little bit concerning or not concerning, but it shows really how active the market is from a sales standpoint. And then we can see here 24 days on market. It's taken a little bit longer to sell the homes at this time this year compared to last year. But then when we really dive into down below here, when we break down all home types, you'll see the last four years, and this is just April. So we can see that again, for just April, the average price was very similar to last year, but then active listings are way up. So 74% up in active listings compared to last year. So we have a lot more inventory on the market, and that is kind of shifted over to total sales being down 5% from last year. So not as active comparing to last year in sales, but a ton more active listings. Now, this might be of a bit of a head scratcher. Why are there so much more active listings, but yet the average sale price is going up? Now, these active listings are for all home types. So you got to remember, all this inventory, a lot of it is coming from the condo market. And then especially in the downtown Toronto area, there's a lot of inventory on the market in the condo space, and it's still up over 3 months of inventory, still settling in a balanced market. But there's still some great opportunities out there if you are looking to buy a condo, or if you are looking to sell a condo, you just got to make sure that it's priced competitively and marketed properly. And then again, that leads us over to the sales. The sales are lower, I think, just because, again, there's a lot of inventory on the market, but there's not. So make that make sense. So we have different micro markets throughout the GTA. We have different home types throughout the GTA. And in some areas, it's very competitive where we have less than 1 month of inventory. And in areas, we're seeing over 2.5 to 3 months of inventory for different home types and different price points in different micro markets throughout the GTA. So if you do want to know what's going on in your area or somewhere where you're looking to buy potentially and want to know how competitive that market may be, reach out or to your realtor and ask them what's the months of inventory like in that area, and you'll have a clearer picture of what to expect. Speaking of months of inventory, if we look in the big red rectangle there, we got 2.5 months of inventory. So in a seller's market, but a little up from the previous months. So that leads me to our next slide here, the monthly sales data. This is the last 13 months. It creates a nice clear picture of what's been going on throughout the years and what's been happening in each month compared to the previous year's months. And if we look at actually the last 3 months here, we can see that the months of inventory was trending down. So last month, like in March, we had under 2 months of inventory. But again, we saw all those people try to hit that spring market and try to catch, a hotter market for the selling standpoint, and people have put their home up for sale. So we've gotten a lot of inventory there. Again, different areas, different home types are different from one neighborhood to the next. So I don't speak as overall, but this number is for all of the GTA. So we got over 2.5 months of inventory there. And we can kind of just see the trend along and how that is reflected in the average sale price down below. Again, typically when we see that months of inventory go up, we do typically see that average price come down. But again, we've got to remember that a lot of the inventory is in different pockets and different home types of the Greater Toronto area, specifically the condo market. So leading us to this the next slide here, this kind of shows how April has been. We kind of touched up on it already, but again, just a clearer picture here of the last 6 Aprils, and we kind of see how the average price has gone up compared to the months of inventory. Again, active listings are way up in comparison to the previous years, almost really similar to almost 2019. And in 2019, that was a very balanced market, but we kind of saw a shift towards the end of the year. As we got closer to 2020, things started getting a lot more competitive. So we could see something similar this year, actually, depending on when interest rates come down from the Bank of Canada. So again, that's not going to affect, the monthly payments so much, or affect, your mortgage cost per month per se too much, but it's going to really psychologically affect buyers and potentially bring them off the sidelines to then get a little bit more competitiveness in the market and ultimately driving that average sale price up. So it'll be interesting to watch as we go throughout the months here and what really happens to these numbers when the Bank of Canada decides to ultimately reduce rates. So that kind of sums up what's been going on in the Greater Toronto area to start the year, and more specifically last month in April. We can see that although active listings are up and sales are down, that average price is still hanging around and trending upwards as we carry on into the spring market here. What I see happening, unless if anything major happens with interest rates anytime soon, which I don't think they will, they might even actually wait through the summer to really make a change, but we'll stay tuned for that. But if it carries on how we are now, we might just see a balanced market into a slight upward trend in average sale price. So I do see prices slowly creeping up, but nothing to be of concern in a spike. When that might happen, we'll see when the interest rates get lowered by the Bank of Canada. So again, we'll keep an eye on that. So as I mentioned, if you want to know what's going on in your area or the area that you're looking in, feel free to click that link below, book a time, book a call with me that works for you. It's nice and simple. You can follow along in the Calendly link below, and would love to chat further and give you more of an insight of what's going on in your area. Again, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, reach out, and we will see you in the next one.